Chase was still in shock. He'd called Chuck because he wanted Jerry to embarrass Chad, not grovel before him. He had a mind to walk right up to Jerry and give him a piece of his mind. But if he did, there was a good chance that Chase would reveal to everyone who he really was, how much wealth he had. And that was something he still wanted to keep secret, at least for now. Chase pulled out his pack of cigarettes and lit one up. Better to keep his mouth shut. From within Jerry's car, Chuck watched the whole debacle unfold. He smacked his head in disbelief. "Oh, Jerry, you're such an idiot," he thought to himself. Chase was standing right there, and yet Jerry had practically promised Chad his first newborn child in a disgusting, ostentatious show of flattery. Chuck pulled out his phone and texted Jerry. "Idiot! You're sucking up to the wrong man. Mr. Rothman is the one with the cigarette, you fool!" Jerry's phone buzzed and he pulled it out of his pocket. He almost dropped the phone in shock. "I've been talking to the wrong guy all this time," he thought. "In front of Mr. Rothman. Idiot." Jerry panicked at the thought of Chuck fuming inside the car and an unknown Mr. Rothman watching him from the sidelines. Without thinking, Jerry planted the palm of his hand flat against Chad's cheek. The sound of skin hitting skin brought the group of protesters to a standstill. All eyes were on him now. "You liar!" he shouted at Chad. "How dare you pretend to be Mr. Rothman? What kind of game are you playing?" "Are you crazy? What in the world?" Chad managed to stammer. At this point, nothing was going to soften Jerry's mood. He made a fool of himself in front of Chuck and the real Mr. Rothman, and it was all Chad's fault. He continued to scream at him. "You scumbag! Impersonating such an important person! Get out of my sight before I hit you again!" Jerry then scuttled over to where Chase was standing and began to apologize profusely. "Mr. Rothman, I'm so sorry. I'm such a fool. I didn't see very well and I mistook him for you. Please let me teach him a lesson." The group was stunned. No one moved or dared to utter a word. Was Jerry really apologizing to Chase? Chad had by now begun to regain his composure and wouldn't stand for another minute of humiliation. "I guess you really are that stupid, huh, Mr. Evans? You really think that he deserves your attention?" Chad laughed. "That's Chase Rothman. He's an absolute mess of an idiot. Mr. Rothman? What a joke. Now, Mr. Evans," Chad continued, "the only one deserving of respect here is me." Jerry puffed up his chest and walked back over to Chad. "And just who do you think you are? You dare compare yourself to Mr. Rothman? You're worth less than the dirt he's standing on." "Excuse me?" fumed Chad. He was furious. "Everyone here, no. Everyone in Lauderville knows that Chase Rothman is a loser. And you think I'm worth less than the dirt he's standing on? You're a few marbles short, old man." Without waiting for Chad to finish, Jerry wound up his right arm and threw a punch that connected perfectly with Chad's delicate nose. Chad threw his hands up to his face in shock, and when he moved them away, there was blood streaming down. Patricia ran to his defense. She stepped in front of him and boldly screamed at Jerry. "You lunatic! If you touch him again, I will personally call the police." Jerry had no idea who Patricia was, and while he wasn't looking to start a fight with anyone else, he would if necessary, particularly to defend Mr. Rothman's honor. "This isn't your fight, ma'am. This man pretended to be someone he wasn't, someone important. He needs to learn his place." Patricia made a motion toward Jerry, but he easily sidestepped her and knocked her to the ground. Upon seeing his mother-in-law fall to the ground, Chase put out his cigarette and rushed into the fray. "Stop," he commanded forcefully. "Who gave you permission to knock this woman to the ground?" he sternly asked Jerry. Jerry tried to get out a reply. She... But Chase interrupted and said, "She's my mother-in-law. Lay a hand on her again and you'll deeply regret it." Jerry quickly helped Patricia to her feet and sincerely apologized to her. "I'm sorry, ma'am, I didn't realize." Despite her hard fall, Patricia felt only curiosity. Who was this man, and why was he so differential to that horrid son-in-law of hers? It was starting to dawn on Jerry that everything had gone horribly wrong. He'd shown up to help Mr. Rothman, not to flatter an imposter and knock his mother-in-law to the ground. This wasn't the impression he had intended. He needed to turn things around. "Ma'am," he said, "I will personally see to it that you will receive your $500,000 investment back immediately. Plus, for your trouble and for you being Mr. Rothman's family, I will see to it that Atlantic Investment contributes an additional $200,000. Does that sound appropriate to you?" Patricia's eyes lit up. An extra $200,000? At that moment, she almost forgot that she had been knocked to the ground. "Yes," she replied. "That seems appropriate." Chaos erupted. The whole group began to shout. "Why does she get her money back? What about us? I want an extra $200,000. Knock me to the ground." Soon the crowd turned their anger toward Patricia. "How can you agree to this? I thought we were in this together." "You're a hypocrite." Patricia's face flushed with embarrassment. How could she take this extra money if no one else was even going to get their original investments back? "Mr. Evans," she demanded, unsure of herself even as she said it, "everyone here must get their money back. I'll settle for nothing less." If he was being honest with himself, Jerry was troubled. There was no way he could return everyone's money without serious ramifications. But it appeared that Chase's mother-in-law wasn't going to back down, and he wasn't going to go up against someone in Chase's family. After a few moments, he finally agreed. "All right, I can begin by giving everyone back $30,000, but I will need approval before releasing the rest. This is a company rule, and even I cannot break it." Jerry could see that this was mostly satisfactory. In fact, some of the crowd hadn't even contributed that much. They weren't going to complain now. As to the matter of Patricia receiving more than her share, the hushed consensus was that she was Chase's family after all, and perhaps she deserved to receive a bit more.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.